She always said she'd never cheat because it was too much effort. I found her calendar color-coded by guy. I took screenshots, printed them as a wall chart, and left it on her door with a marker that said, "Care to add me?" When a person cheats, it's not just the lying. It's not even the sex. It's the fact that they let you build your whole life around them while they were off building something else behind your back. That's what burns. My name's Rich. I'm 38, live in Topeka, Kansas. I'm not a complicated guy. I work in HVAC. That means I spend most days on roofs, in basements, or inside sweltering buildings keeping other people comfortable. It's not glamorous, but it pays well, and I'm good at it. For 6 years, I was with Madison. We met through friends at a cookout. She was the kind of woman who pulled you in with just a look. Quick-witted. Confident. She worked in marketing, ran campaigns for local businesses, sometimes national stuff too. She could talk her way through any conversation like she was steering a car. Sharp, always 2 steps ahead. I liked that about her. I really did. She moved in with me after 2 years. Said she loved how normal I was. Her word, not mine. She meant it as a compliment. It's good to be with someone who's real, she told me. No games. No drama. And I believed her. We were solid. Or so I thought. I worked long hours, and sometimes weekends, depending on the season. When summer hit, I'd be slammed with AC jobs. Winter meant furnaces. She worked from home. Said it helped her focus better. Gave her time to think, write, pitch ideas. I never questioned it. Why would I? She told me, more than once, that cheating was stupid. Said it wasn't worth the hassle. It's too much effort, she told me one night, curled up on the couch with a glass of wine. Why would I do all that work just to lose something good? I laughed and said, you'd probably make a spreadsheet for it. She snorted. Color-coded and everything. Funny, right? Except she did. One Saturday, I was trying to find my earbuds. The ones I use for mowing the lawn. Couldn't find them anywhere. I figured maybe I left them in Madison's office upstairs. She used them sometimes for meetings. She wasn't home. Said she was getting brunch with Tara, her old college roommate. They usually met once or twice a month. I wasn't suspicious. Just wanted my earbuds. So I went into her office. Her laptop was open, still on, like she'd just walked away from it. I moved the mouse, screen came back up. Calendar app was wide open. That's when everything cracked. There were names on there. Not clients. Not coworkers. Just names. Jason, 11 a.m. Nate, 3 p.m. Derek, 10 a.m. All color-coded. I scrolled. Every week had a pattern. Jason was coffee every Wednesday. Derek was gym time. Nate popped in twice a month, always mid-afternoon. There was even a guy named Mark, on a few random Saturdays. Some of the meetings were short. Others blocked off 2-3 hours. Some overlapped with times she told me she had Zoom calls. And then there was me. Rich, barbecue night, or Rich, movie, slapped on Friday evenings like I was just another recurring event. I couldn't breathe at first. It felt like someone hit me in the stomach and then froze the room. She was seeing other guys. Regularly. With emoji codes. And she was organized about it. It wasn't just cheating, it was planned. Weekly. Like a damn job. I didn't go crazy. Didn't smash her computer. I sat down in her chair and took screenshots of everything. Weekly view. Monthly view. Details. I emailed them to myself. Labeled each guy. Then I spent the next 2 days making a chart. A real, physical wall chart. Each guy in a different color, just like her calendar. I printed it in sections at FedEx and paid cash. Told the guy behind the counter it was for a team project. He said, "Looks intense." I said, "Yeah, it is." I added a Sharpie. Taped it to the center. Wrote one sentence in red, "Care to add me?" She was out when I got back. I taped the chart across our apartment door. It took up the whole thing. Looked like a crime board from a detective show. I stood there, staring at it. Then I walked away. I left my key inside. Took my clothes, some tools, and my passport. That was it. Then I went to my friend Dave's place. He gave me a beer and didn't ask questions. Later that night, we pulled up my Ring camera. Madison came home around 6:45 p.m. She was smiling, sunglasses on, phone in hand. Looked like she had no clue what was coming. She froze when she saw the chart. She stepped closer, read it, touched the paper with her hand. She didn't say anything for a long time. Then she backed away, pulled out her phone, and started dialing. I didn't answer. I watched her call again. And again. Then she sat down on the stairs and stared at the chart like it was a bomb. I thought that would be the end of it. But Madison wasn't the kind of person to just go quiet. I thought leaving the chart on the door would be the last word. That she'd get the message, cry a little, maybe post some sad quotes online, then move on with her secret rotation of guys. I was wrong. The next morning, my phone started buzzing non-stop. Texts. Calls. Emails. All from Madison. "Rich, what the hell is this? Can we talk? Please. It's not what it looks like. You're being childish. Grow up and talk to me." By noon, she was blowing up Dave's phone too. She even tried calling my mom. I hadn't even told my family what happened yet. That part hit me hard. She crossed a line. I didn't respond. Instead, I called my landlord. Told him I was ending the lease early and that Madison would be staying. Legally, the lease was in my name only, but I wanted to avoid drama. He agreed to let her take it over if she passed a credit check. When he called her to confirm, she called me again, furious this time. "You're screwing me over," she said. "You embarrassed me. Do you have any idea how this makes me look?" I told her, "You made that chart. I just printed it." She went quiet. Then hung up. A few hours later, I started getting messages from people I hadn't talked to in months. Old friends. Even some of her friends. Apparently, Madison had posted a long, emotional rant on Instagram. A black and white selfie with a caption about revenge, betrayal, and how some men can't handle a strong woman living her truth. She tried to spin it like I was controlling. Like I'd found a harmless calendar and went full psycho. But I had receipts. Literally. I didn't post anything public. I just forwarded some of the screenshots, just enough to make people ask questions. No rants. No name-calling. Just proof. A few people messaged me privately. Said they were sorry. Said they had no idea. Even her friend Tara, the one she was supposedly getting brunch with, told me she was disgusted. "She used me as a cover," Tara wrote. I didn't know. She said she was working those days. Madison's whole story started to unravel. But instead of owning it, she doubled down. She started messaging the guys from her calendar. I know this because one of them, Jason, the coffee every Wednesday guy, reached out to me. He was the only decent one, I guess. He messaged me on Facebook. "Hey, man. I had no idea she was in a relationship. She told me she was single. I'm sorry. He even sent me screenshots of their chats. And yeah, it was flirty, it was graphic in places, but the worst part? She had joked about sneaking around while her dumbass HVAC boyfriend was out crawling in air vents. That one hurt. Jason told me he blocked her. Said he felt sick. I thanked him. A few more of the guys never responded. A couple blocked me right away. That was fine. I wasn't out to ruin their lives. My issue was with her. But Madison? She wasn't done yet. 3 days after I moved out, Dave came home from work and found her sitting in his driveway. Just sitting on the hood of her car, crying. Like it was some bad rom-com. Dave texted me, "She's here. Want me to call the cops?" I told him no. I went over. She stood up when she saw me. Her face was puffy, makeup streaked. She looked like she hadn't slept. But I didn't feel sorry for her. Not anymore. "Rich, please," she said. "Can we talk somewhere private?" I said, "We're talking now." She looked around. "Please. You don't understand. It wasn't serious. Not all of them. I felt lonely. You were always gone. That one made me laugh. So you scheduled 6 other guys like they were dentist appointments?" She bit her lip. "It's not what you think." I pulled out my phone. Opened the photos. Showed her a screen of her calendar. "I'm pretty sure it is." She tried to reach for my arm. I stepped back. "It's over, Madison." She started crying again. Real tears. But I didn't care anymore. She didn't get to cry now. She said, "You were supposed to be my safe place." And I said, "I was. You just wanted an open house with no security." Then I left. Thought that would be the end. But of course, she had one more move. I thought walking away from her in that driveway would be the final scene. That it would end quietly, some tears, some silence, maybe a few late-night texts she'd eventually give up on. But Madison wasn't built for quiet. About a week after that last talk, I started noticing weird stuff. First, one of my job leads didn't pan out. Nothing unusual, I work in a competitive field, and bids fall through. But then another client ghosted me after an in-home estimate. Then another. One guy even texted me and said, "Hey, man, I don't want drama. I'll go with someone else." That set off alarm bells. So I looked around. Checked my business Facebook page. My Yelp. My Google listing. And there it was. A bunch of fake reviews had popped up. Some were subtle. Didn't finish the job, seemed distracted. Others were straight poison, made me uncomfortable. Very unprofessional. Avoid. One even said, flirted with my wife and made comments when I was out of the room. I knew exactly what this was. I dug deeper. The usernames were fake, but a couple of the profile pictures were stock images. One of the reviewers was named JasonBrewlover_45. And wouldn't you know it, Madison had once shown me her burner account for restaurant reviews. That was the name she used. It clicked. She was trying to screw with my livelihood. I didn't confront her. I didn't give her the satisfaction of knowing it got to me. Instead, I reached out to Yelp and Google support with documentation. I got several of the reviews flagged and removed. I took screenshots of every one and saved them in a folder called Madison's Fallout. But I wasn't just going to defend myself. I went back through her calendar screenshots. Found 3 names I hadn't reached out to yet. One was labeled Bobby, client mix-up grimacing face, that one stood out. The emoji alone made it weird. So I messaged Bobby. He responded a few hours later with this, "Wait, she told me her name was Marie and that she was single. We met at a networking event. I asked what she did. Said she was in PR, helped clean up reputations online. Of course. I told him the truth. Sent him a redacted screenshot of the calendar. I blacked out my info but left his name. He didn't reply right away. But a couple days later, he texted, "Dude. She just threatened to tell my wife we hooked up if I didn't stop asking questions. I didn't even do anything with her. Now I was done playing defense." I sent an anonymous tip, fully documented, organized, to Madison's HR department. It wasn't cruel. I didn't make anything up. I just told them that a marketing employee named Madison had a pattern of using professional tools, like her calendar, for personal deception and using company time to manage her hookups. Included the calendar screenshots. Highlighted names and times. Every weekday block that overlapped work hours. I didn't hear back. But 3 weeks later, her LinkedIn went dark. Then her Instagram changed from "digital strategy sparkles" to "looking for new opportunities." And then Tara called me. "You need to know," she said, "she's telling people you hit her." I was quiet. I told her that was messed up, Tara said. She said you grabbed her when she tried to leave. That never happened. Never came close. And now it was time to shut this whole thing down. When Tara told me Madison was saying I hit her, I didn't blow up. I didn't scream or throw things. I just sat there in silence, holding my phone, feeling something shift inside me. Like a line had been crossed that couldn't be uncrossed. See, I'm not a perfect guy. I've said dumb stuff. I've gotten too quiet when I should have spoken up. I've stayed in a dead relationship too long because I was scared to start over. But one thing I never did was put a hand on Madison. Never even raised my voice in a serious way. And now she was throwing that out there like it was some casual lie. To gain sympathy. To stay in control of the story. That was it. I wasn't just going to get even, I was going to end it. And I'd let her do it to herself. I went back through everything. All the screenshots. All the fake reviews. The messages from the guys. Even Tara had started keeping messages, screenshots where Madison bragged about burning Rich's rep before he spreads lies. I packaged it all into one big file. No drama. Just truth. Then I sent it to 3 places, her former employer's HR team, with a note that she was spreading lies and slandering others after being let go. Her biggest client, one I knew about from when she bragged about landing their contract. Her dad. Yeah, that last one was personal. I met her dad once, years ago. Good man. Blue collar, ran a car shop. Told me I seemed steady. Said Madison needed that in her life. He liked me. I sent him everything. I didn't tell him what to do. I just let him read it. 2 days later, Madison showed up at my worksite. My coworker Dale came into the building like, "Hey Rich, your ex is outside. She looks pissed." I walked out the back door instead. But she waited. By the time my shift was over, she was still in the parking lot. I got in my truck. She blocked me in with hers. I rolled down the window. "You happy now?" she asked, voice shaking. I looked at her. She was pale. Sweaty. Eyes red. "You lied about me hitting you," I said flat. She didn't deny it. Just looked down. "My dad won't talk to me," she said. Said I embarrassed him. He found out I lied to people. Said I wasn't raised like that. I nodded. "Maybe you weren't. But it's who you are now." She slammed her hand on the hood of my truck. "You think you're better than me?" I leaned out the window. Looked her straight in the eye. "No. I think I'm finally done with you. She cried right there in the lot. I drove around her and left. It didn't feel like winning. But it felt like peace. I fixed the damage she tried to do to my business. Clients came back. New ones came in. Word got around that she was trouble, not me. Last I heard, she moved to Wichita. Her Instagram's private now. No job listed. Sometimes I think about her. About how much of my life I gave to someone who was building her own little empire of lies, right under my nose. But the truth? I learned something. You don't need to scream to get revenge. You just need to hold up a mirror. And let them see themselves.